Larry Nelson is flanked by the Freebirds, with Michael Hayes sporting a Confederate flag. Painted face, a deliberate provocation that might explain why Superclash 85 is MIA on Peacock. As they make their way to the ring, Hayes taunts the Chicago crowd, declaring that the South is rising again. It's a blatant attempt to tap into the anti-Confederate sentiment and stir up some good old-fashioned heat. But the irony isn't lost on us. Their entourage includes a black security officer who leads them to the ring with a straight face. Meanwhile, Michael Hayes is strutting his stuff like a geriatric pimp, complete with a swagger that's equal parts cringe and mesmerizing. Lord have mercy. The Road Warriors burst onto the scene, ignoring Larry Nelson as they make their way to the ring. The music suddenly dips to a whisper, replaced by scattered cheers and hollers as the Warriors emerge to the unlikely tune of Iron Man by Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath. The Road Warriors waste no time in laying the smackdown, sending the Freebirds scrambling for cover. Hayes, meanwhile, is off on a solo mission, stomping around the perimeter of the ring like a man possessed. He's on a quest for truth, justice, and the perfect tan, facing off against the crowd with a zeal that's both hilarious and bewildering. It's like he's fighting an invisible enemy, and we can't help but wonder what makes this eccentric tick. I'm still trying to figure out if Michael Hayes is a saint or a sinner. His chameleon-like ability to adapt to any situation is what made him a wrestling enigma. 1 minute, he's cutting a scathing promo. The next, he's having a heart-to-heart with the fans in the nosebleeds. It's a clever move, really. He's always angling to get under the skin of the crowd, to be the center of attention. And what better way to do that than to storm around the stadium, screaming at the fans in the outfield seats? The match itself is a wild ride. Hawk takes down Gordy with a thunderous lariat, is begging for mercy. But Gordy's not having it. He's determined to prove he's still got it. Animal gets in on the action, slamming Gordy to the mat. Hawk follows up with a flying fist to the face, and Gordy's reeling. Hayes tries to take advantage with a sunset flip, but Hawk blocks it and sends him crashing to the mat. The action spills into the corner, with Gordy and Hawk taking turns pummeling Hayes. Gordy tries to whip Hawk into the corner, but Hawk sidesteps him and goes shoulder, first into the post. Larry Nelson remarks that would slow down even the most superhuman of beings, but I'm not so sure. I mean, would it slow down an alpaca? Probably not. Gordy tries to regain momentum with a vertical suplex, but he starts convulsing like he's having some kind of fit. Is he coughing up a lung or doing some kind of bizarre southern dance? Meanwhile, Hayes gets slammed to the mat for a 2 count, and Hawk kicks out with enough force to send Hayes flying to the floor. It's always a thrill to see the babyfaces kick out with such power. Larry Nelson chimes in, calling Hawk one of the most powerful men in any sport, anywhere in the multiverse. Wait, what? Did he just imply he's familiar with intergalactic wrestling scenes? Is he fluent in Martian wrestling terminology? The possibilities are endless. Hawk, fueled by adrenaline, takes on the formidable Freebirds duo, delivering a devastating double noggin knocker that sends shockwaves through the arena. Hayes retaliates with a clothesline, but Hawk refuses to back down, launching a valiant comeback attempt. Hayes slams him to the mat, but Hawk quickly recovers, catching his opponent off guard with a gorilla press slam from the top rope. The action spills out of control as Gordy tags in, only to stumble into a vicious corner collision that leaves him reeling. Hawk seizes the opportunity, tagging an Animal, who unleashes a flurry of atomic drops and power slams, nearly securing the win. Chaos erupts as a peer. 4-brawl breaks out, with Hawk getting the better of Roberts. Paul Ellering, the Road Warriors manager, gets involved, pulling Roberts off the apron, sending the crowd into a frenzy. But Roberts exacts revenge, striking Ellering with a chair from behind, taking him out of commission. Gordy's mistake cost his team dearly, as he accidentally hits Hayes, allowing Animal to capitalize with a gorilla press slam. Hawk takes advantage, stomping on Roberts, while Animal delivers a crushing flying shoulder block to Gordy. But just as it seems the Road Warriors are about to emerge victorious, Hayes produces a foreign object from nowhere, striking Animal in the back of the head, and Gordy seizes the opportunity to score the pin. The crowd is stunned as the Freebirds celebrate their apparent title win, but Nelson's commentary is laced with confusion as he struggles to comprehend the turn of events. The Freebirds make their way out, but their victory is short-lived as garbage rains down on them from the irate crowd. Vern Gagne, the AWA promoter, emerges to restore order, demanding a replay of the match's final moments on the Jumbotron screen. After some initial resistance from the production team, Gagne's persistence pays off, and the replay reveals the truth. The Road Warriors are still the rightful champions. The crowd erupts in cheers as the Road Warriors reclaim their titles, and the Freebirds slink away, their tainted victory foiled. The Freebirds' hasty exit from the ring left me scratching my head, wondering how the belts magically reappeared in the squared circle. It was as if they had vanished into thin air, only to reemerge like a bad omen. Fast forward to the St. Paul Civic Center, where Jimmy Garvin and Steve Regal would capitalize on the Freebirds' misfortune, snatching the AWA Tag Team titles from their grasp. This marked the beginning of the end for the Freebirds in the AWA, paving the way for their eventual departure to Jim Crockett Promotions and the infamous Night of the Skywalkers. The Road Warriors, meanwhile, were just getting started on their journey to greatness. The Chicago natives received a thunderous ovation as they steamrolled over Larry Nelson, only to decimate Hayes and Gordy in a thrilling display of power. But in a shocking turn of events, Vern Gagne emerged to overturn the decision, citing some obscure technicality. It was a blatant miscarriage of justice, and even I felt a pang of sympathy for the usually insufferable Michael Hayes. The Freebirds had been robbed of a clean victory, and it was a travesty. Unfortunately, this match was a hot mess from start to finish. The Road Warriors were still in their run-over. Everyone phase, which would continue for the next half-decade or so. The chaotic ending only added to the confusion, leaving me wondering what had just transpired.